Have you ever stared at an application and just thought, I know I have the experience, but how on earth do I prove it on paper? It's a super common problem. So today, we're taking some really specific feedback from a program advisor and turning it into a roadmap for anyone, and I mean anyone, who wants to build a portfolio that really proves what they can do. All right, let's get into it.
And that's the central question, right? It's one thing to know in your gut that you have the skills. It's a completely different ballgame to document them in a way that's clear, credible, and totally convincing to someone who has never met you. So how do you bridge that gap between all the work you've done and getting the credit you deserve? Well, it all starts by building a really solid foundation.
Before you start digging through old project files and emails for evidence, you need a game plan. And that's what this first part is all about, laying the groundwork and creating a solid framework that's going to support your entire application.
Now, here's a really cool way to shift your mindset about this whole process. Stop thinking about it as just filling out forms. Instead, I want you to think of yourself as a lawyer. Your skills, they're your client. Every single document you submit is a piece of evidence. Your job is to build an airtight case that proves your expertise beyond a shadow of a doubt. Every great legal case needs a powerful opening statement. For your application, that's your CV. The feedback we're working from could not be clearer on this. An outdated resume is a huge red flag. It has to reflect your most current job and your most recent experience, because that CV is the very first thing an assessor looks at to start mapping your career to their requirements.
All right, with that opening statement prepped and your foundation solid, it's time to build the heart of your argument. This next section is all about mastering your evidence, finding it, polishing it, and presenting that irrefutable proof that's gonna win your case.
Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got familiar with audit procedures. I mean, what does that even mean? It's so vague, it's almost meaningless. But now, look at the strong example. Audited for compliance with a specific regulation using a specific standard. Wow, now that is powerful. This shows you exactly the level of detail assessors need. They don't want claims, they want cold, hard, verifiable facts.
So how do you know what kind of evidence you should be looking for? Well, you have to aim for the target. And in this world, the target is the course learning outcome, or CLO. Think of the CLOs as the specific questions the court is asking you. Each piece of your evidence has to be a direct answer to one of those questions, proving you have the exact skill they are looking for. And here's the most important part. You have to make the connection totally obvious. Don't make the assessor do the detective work. You need to literally label your evidence. This report proves CLO 1. This spreadsheet demonstrates CLO 3. Make sure you cover every single learning outcome. And remember, don't just tell them, show them. Use actual work samples, give them detailed examples, and mention the specific regulations you worked with. Okay, so presenting strong evidence is one half of the battle, but you also have to make sure you don't accidentally undermine your own case. This next part is all about protecting your own credibility by steering clear of the critical red flags that can sink an application in a heartbeat.
This is a direct warning from the source material, and it couldn't be more serious. Your professional and academic integrity, it's just non-negotiable. Any attempt to fake evidence isn't just a red flag, it can get you kicked out of a program. It's just never, ever worth the risk.
So, what kind of things make an assessor suspicious? Well, the advisor's notes gave us a pretty clear list. Certificates that look altered, where a name looks like it's been pasted on, will definitely raise questions. Another big no-no is recycling your evidence, trying to use the exact same document to prove two totally different skills. Nope. Each CLO needs its own unique piece of proof. And as we already talked about, that outdated CV just kills your credibility right from the start.
Okay, you've built your case, you submitted a powerful portfolio, but the trial might not be over just yet. A lot of times, there's one final step, a skills test or an interview to confirm your expertise in real time. So let's talk about how to absolutely ace that final challenge.
Now, this is a really fascinating distinction. You see, pretty much anyone can be trained to follow a procedure. That's knowing the what. But real expertise, true mastery, that comes from knowing the why. Assessors aren't just checking if you can complete a task. They're digging deeper to see if you understand the theory, the impact, and the whole reason behind it. So, to really nail this part, you've got to go deeper. It's not enough to just say you did a risk assessment. You have to be ready to explain the official standards you followed. You need to articulate the why behind every action you took. And you should be able to discuss the potential fallout if a control fails. This is how you show a level of understanding that goes way beyond just checking boxes. So when you boil this all down, it really comes to this one simple mantra. Don't just list your skills on a piece of paper. Build a case for them. Provide the hard evidence. Show your work. Prove it, don't just say it. That right there is the secret to turning your years of hard-earned experience into the credit you deserve.
And that brings us to our final thought. As you put all this together, ask yourself this question. When an assessor opens up your portfolio, what will they see? A messy, random collection of documents? Or will they see a clear, compelling, and powerful story about your professional journey and your expertise? Make absolutely sure it tells the right one.